Just as I predicted, the rhetoric from the far left has intensified, so much so that it is no longer acceptable to only call Trump supporters and conservatives racists and bigots and white nationalists. No, they've now taken it a step further and are not only calling for the roundup and death camps, aka FEMA camps for Trump supporters, but they are also promoting a movie called The Hunt, which parades the idea of hunting MAGA deplorables for sport. To make matters worse, the mainstream media, along with FBI Christopher Wray, are also stating that ISIS is the same as right-wing extremism or white nationalists. In other words, Trump supporters. Don't believe me? Take a look at this article on Infowars.com. Death camps for Trump supporters posted on homes and cars belonging to Republican Congressman staff. These flyers were posted in multiple locations in New York, from street signs to parking lots to specifically targeting Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin and his staff and his employees. This is straight up threat against conservatives, against Trump supporters, promoting an idea of Nazi Germany style death camps. This is what you get as a result of the media saying Trump supporters are white supremacists and white nationalists. This is what happens. But that's not all. There's also a movie coming out called The Hunt, which basically promotes the idea of hunting Trump supporters, which they call deplorables in the movie, for sport. Take a look at this article on lauraloomer.us. Unreal. Movie The Hunt features Trump supporters being hunted for sport. FoxNews.com. Hollywood blockbuster that satirizes killing of deplorables causes outrage. It's demented and evil. Now, Fox News goes on to report that the violent R-rated film from the producer Jason Blum's Blumhouse follows a dozen MAGA types who wake up in a clearing and realize they are being stalked for sport by elite liberals. THR's Kim Master wrote, it features guns blazing along with ultra-violent killing as the elite pick off their prey. According to the Hollywood trade publication, characters in the film refer to the victims as deplorables, which is exactly what Hillary Clinton famously dubbed Trump supporters during the 2016 election. The report noted that a character asked, did anyone see what our rat effer-in-chief just did? Considering the political environment in which we live, I do not think publishing a movie about shooting deplorables is a good idea. There's already 700 some-odd attacks on Trump supporters just since Trump has been in office, and the number is increasing. Is this done under the radar to encourage more violence? I surely hope not. First, we talk about FEMA camps for Trump supporters. Now, we're talking about shooting Trump supporters for a sport. There is something seriously wrong with this picture. Not to mention the fact that on every mainstream media site, they're calling Trump supporters white nationalists. What's next? Are they going to label ISIS right-wing extremists? Well, take a look what FBI Director Christopher Wray had to say.
Last month, FBI Director Chris Wray told Congress domestic terrorism was on the rise.
Just in the first 3 quarters of this year, we've had more domestic terrorism arrests than the prior year.
One former federal official told CBS News law enforcement agencies need a rebalancing, similar to what occurred after 9/11 when the counter-terror focus became al-Qaeda and ISIS. Right-wing extremists like ISIS are congregating on the internet.
Did you catch that? Christopher Wray labels radical ISIS extremists, Islamic extremists, as right-wingers. Do you see how they're lumping this all together? But you know what? He's not alone in his assessment. No. The LA Times and the New York Times took it one step further. Take a look at this article on LATimes.com. White supremacists and Islamic State recruits have more in common than you might think. NewYorkTimes.com. I spent 25 years fighting jihadists. White supremacists are not so different. Here's the thing. There is nothing wrong with that statement. Hey, white supremacists are evil. So are ISIS radicals. I wouldn't have a problem with it. The problem that I have with it, however, is the fact that the New York Times, LA Times, and the mainstream media are calling Trump supporters white supremacists and white nationalists. So, in a sense, this is coming from the same mouthpiece. New York Times is saying Trump supporters are likened to ISIS. I can't see it any other way. Because when you call Trump a white nationalist, you're basically now saying that he's in league with ISIS in an under-the-radar kind of way. But let me show you the New York Times' own words. Take a look at this article on NewYorkTimes.com. Trump is a white nationalist who inspires terrorism. There the New York Times is saying with the same mouthpiece, Donald Trump is a white nationalist, basically a white supremacist. And then with the other piece, they're saying white nationalists and white supremacists are the same as ISIS. Wait now. But that's not all. You see, the rhetoric continues not only from the New York Times. Take a look at this article on TheGuardian.com. From Trump to Fox News to 8chan, the web of white supremacist rhetoric is wide. TheAtlantic.com, conservatives have a white nationalist problem. Access.com, be to her work. Yes, Trump is a white nationalist. CampusReform.org, California professor says Trump supporters are white nationalist terror supporters. All of them. Newsbusters.com, CNN contributor, confronting Trump's base is confronting white nationalism. I really have no other way to look at this other than they've purposefully labeled Trump and his supporters and conservatives white nationalists, white supremacists. We have a white supremacy problem, something that doesn't exist, something that is a hoax made up by the Democratic left. We have people of every race, color, and creed supporting Trump. You're going to tell me we're all racist? You're going to tell me we're all a problem? And then you're going to allow the publishing of death camps, FEMA camps for Trump supporters? And then you're going to allow a movie that promotes the idea of shooting up deplorables? One that was aired, I believe, an advertisement by ESPN and even one of Disney's branches. They pulled it with a recent shooting. But hey, the movie's still out there. Or how about the fact that you're comparing ISIS to Trump, basically? That's what they've done. If you're going to call Trump a white nationalist and compare that with ISIS, then that's exactly what you're doing. It's all that under the radar talk. And as I said in the beginning of this report, their rhetoric has unfortunately intensified. We need to call for the end of this with our congressmen and women. We need to ask and bring it to the attention of our congressmen and women what the media is doing, what some in the political realm are doing, and we need to say stop promoting violence. Anyhow, I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Please don't forget to check out my partner at noblegoldinvestments.com. They are what make it possible for me here on air to get this information to you. And right now, I want to encourage you, gold is increasing and skyrocketing. You want to convert your 401k now, not tomorrow, because we don't know where the dollar is going to go. And considering the games that they're playing with the economy, I want to encourage you to do it today because I don't want you to lose something that you value, something that you've saved years for. So check them out in the description box below. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.